Alright, this is a quick part 2 to the other week order thing I made for bigwigs, because, again, like many guilds and many raids and, whatever, have requirements for what their raiders need, right? Big add-ons, for example, include like ERT. ERT notes are pretty important because, there's specific, healing CDs or whatever that you need to know. And the main thing for ERT is that it's fully customizable, right? But it's why a lot of raid teams require the raiders to have ERT. Another big weak or add-on that raid teams want the raiders to have is bigwigs. Bigwigs, in my opinion, is far superior to DBM. I like the customization of bigwigs more than DBM because I feel like it's a lot more neat. I think it's cleaner, and I think it works better with weak aura than DBM does. But for example, for bigwigs menu, you want to just open it up. It's here, it's bigwigs. And again, one quick, very important thing to note is that these add-ons are only as important as to the extent that you can customize them to work for you. Okay? Just having a random timer in the middle, off to the center of your screen here, to the side, it doesn't do anything for you because you're not looking at it. The whole point of these is that you want to put this somewhere where it's very, very obvious and visible to see. Okay? There's some people with bigwigs and they just leave it in the corner here because they're required to get the add-on, but they don't actually use the add-on. Right? The raid leader, they always will call specific mechanics out, but if you are also aware of this, you yourself can be prepped and you'll be better off for progression. And not only will this improve your survivability, but this will even help you with damage. Because, for example, let's say on, a good example is Castle Nathria, right? Mythic Enerva. There was a chance that you would pop cooldowns, and then 2 seconds after, you would get the mechanic where you would get a line across you, and you would have to break an orb with it. If you yourself were made aware of this mechanic coming up by effective customization of bigwigs, you would have seen, oh, this mechanic's coming up, I should hold my cooldown for just 1 second or 2 seconds. So if you do get the mechanic, you didn't waste your entire cooldown. This is a big, big problem with Frost DKs, for example. Frost DKs would send breath, and immediately they would get the mechanic, they would have to go out, their breath's gone, they're out of damage for the next 2 minutes. So again, it's very important to make sure that bigwigs is customized for what you need. A very easy thing to do, for example, is just with the base stuff, right? So say there's one mechanic that keeps killing you over and over and over again, right? One example we had in early progression for Azageth was Lightning Breath. Some of my raiders got slaughtered by Lightning Breath. It wasn't even close. We had some people who never died to it, and we had some people who would die to this 10 times a night, right? So one thing we did, we had them go into the Lightning Breath window, and they would literally take every single thing on here, except the emphasize. You hit this, messages, and the big thing was sound, because this would yell a sound and do a countdown. You go to sound, you can put whatever you want. I pick air horn because I think it's the scariest one, right? It's
aggro.
There's aggro, and here's air horn. I think that is hilariously loud and annoying. And if things are loud and annoying, well, you try to get rid of them, or you try to get away from them, right? And this yells this during Lightning Breath. So, with sound enabled and countdown, what it will do is it will count down from 5, and then it will yell that air horn at you. So oh, I really need to get out of this and look and pay attention. Main offenders of this were casters, because casters sit there and they're always casting. Right, as is the main rule of casting in WoW, is always be casting, ABC, because you want to maximize damage. But if you're just sitting there drooling, that's fine, because you're a caster. You can sit there and drool. However, if you need some sort of countdown sound to really, really pay attention at some points. So that's why these are always good to do. And I don't know why, I guess it makes sense why bigwigs doesn't do it automatically, because otherwise there'll be yelling and countdowns for every single mechanic, which would get annoying. But you yourself need to be very, very cautious about what your needs are. Right? Hurricane Wing. If you need a counter for Hurricane Wing, just click countdown. It's not too bad. Hit the countdown. You'll know what to do. What was it? I don't. Was there another one? That's just one example. I can look at another boss. So Dathia, blowback, right? This is when the add-on, the fight explodes and it knocks everybody back. So it's sound. It's a cast. You can even do countdown sound. Same thing. I just like air horn. It's painfully loud. It yells at you. It's good enough. Make it easy. Customize it. Do things to improve yourself. The other big thing with it are the bars. The bars in bigwigs are the really important things. So if I go create test bar, right? Over here, you can see there's general bars. So you see here's a test one. There's general bars, emphasize, nameplate bars, clickable bars, whatever. I don't bother with clickable bars. I don't think they're too useful. But essentially, these are emphasized bars. So if I create test bar, you see this shows up at 25 seconds. 25 seconds is nothing for me to be worried about, right? That's still kind of far away. The second it hits 15 seconds, it shows up here closer. This is like if I click this, right? This is the boss. It shows right above the boss's health bar. This to me is very important because this means I need to be more aware that this mechanic is coming. So, and there's basic ways to change this, right? You literally just, you can go here and you can move all these bars around, right? So here's a bar limit, font size. You can change whatever you need to, right? You can enable emphasize bars or not. Like, essentially emphasize bars, they're different from the regular bars because they're, as the name suggests, emphasized. They will show up where you need them, and you can move it around. You can even change when they're emphasized. If you think 15 seconds is too long for you, change it. Change it to 10 seconds, 5 seconds even if you want. But you need to be able to customize it, right? So if I show you again, this is my emphasized test bar here. So I know if Braz gets casting lightning breath, I will see it here, and this is 5 seconds, right? It keeps going. I emphasize at 15 because I'm a raid leader, and I need to be able to track stuff here. So these are my non-emphasized bars, but I also need to be able to track the important mechanics emergently coming up. And this is the best way to do that is with this emphasize thing. But that's really it. So if I go here, right, these are the bars. These are emphasized bars and these are general bars. Text allowance, messages, whoops. All this stuff here is able to be edited. Right? Here's a proximity one. Here's messages, text countdown. Emphasize bars and bars are the most important tools that you have in Raid. Okay? So there's bars and there's emphasized bars. Bars are just this. I feel as if many people don't use emphasized bars. I feel like more people should because it's a separate bar that will change position. When you see something flicking on your screen, at least in my brain, that tells me, oh, I should take a look at this, right? And for me, how my emphasized bars work is when I see it blinking or when I see it shift from bars to here, I know, oh, I should get ready for this, right? That gives you 15 seconds leeway. And you can change it to whatever you need. So again, if you want to change these bars, like right here, it's under bars. If you want to change emphasize bars, you need to make sure one it's enabled, and then you can customize it however you want. You can change the position wherever. If you don't want to mess with the XY or the XY position, you can simply hit moving anchor. You click and hold this and move it around. Move it wherever you want. But that's like a quick rundown of bigwigs, because this add-on is only as useful as the amount of effort and work you put into it to make it, I need to hide this, to make it work for you.